The ongoing Russian war with Ukraine, or as the Russian media says, there is no war, but we're also winning it. Ever since Vladimir Putin decided to aggressively crash on his neighboring country's couch, Ukraine has been asking America for bigger and better weapons to help them defend themselves. Now, usually, when you ask America to send you weapons, they'll send them quicker than a restaurant that pre-cooks the food in the morning and then just reheats it when you order it at night. But because America and the rest of the world is terrified of starting World War III, rightfully so, they've had to find ways to support Ukraine without being accused of attacking Russia. And so just today, President Biden announced this.
This morning, President Biden has announced the U.S. will send another $700 million worth of weapons, defense systems, to the Ukrainian military. Among the newly provided weaponry is the multiple launch rocket system, which is a highly capable long-range system.
This has been the subject of debate inside the Biden administration for weeks now, whether or not to provide Ukraine with these more advanced, longer-range weapon systems. Concerns within the administration that Russia might view this as a provocative step, giving Ukraine the ability to strike within Russian territory. That's why the United States actually sought assurances and secured those assurances from Ukraine that they would not use these rocket systems to strike Russian targets on Russian territory.
Yeah, that's right. Biden made Ukraine promise that they will only use the rockets in Ukrainian territory. They will not use them in Russia. Yeah, so he's basically giving them advanced rockets, like a dad gives his teenager a credit card. He's like, now remember what I told you. This is only for gas, groceries, and the strip club. No textbooks this time. I don't want to see that charge again. But this is major help, though. $700 million. That's a ton of rockets. Or maybe it's like 10 rockets. I never know with military equipment. No, you never know how much anything costs, you know? It's like when someone tells me they spent $100 at Sephora. I have no idea if that's like one face cream or enough eye glitter for a whole season of Euphoria. I don't know how much it is. And look, I get that America is trying to find the balance between helping Ukraine and triggering its own war with Russia, but still, this is putting Ukraine in a tough spot. Because who knows how easy these missiles are to use? You know, I don't want us to be in World War III just because some Ukrainian soldier entered the distance in kilometers when it was supposed to be in miles. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, 1.6, I meant to put 2. But I will say, this is good for Ukraine to defend themselves. And this is good for Russia to know they can't just push other countries around. And you know who this is most exciting for? American missiles. Yeah. What a different experience this is going to be for them. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited to be going overseas for the first time. And the best part is I've been invited. Wow. Because my dad went to Iraq, but he wasn't invited. And my grandfather, he went to Vietnam. And boy, did they not want him there. But look at me. I got invited to Ukraine. I'm a missile going to Ukraine. They invited me. I'm a good missile in my family. My new one-man show, Missile in Ukraine, will be debuting next week. You guys can join in. Thanks for watching. All right, let's move on. Disney released a new Star Wars show on their streaming platform, Disney+, which I've heard is good, but not as good as Paramount+. Now, this Star Wars show is not the one about the Mandalorian, and it's not the one about Boba Fett. No, this one is about Obi-Wan Kenobi, the galaxy's most powerful hobo. And anyone can see where this is going, right? It's just like show after show on Disney. You see what they're doing. Now you get it. Their plan is to release a show about every character in Star Wars. It's genius. Make a ton of money. Personally, I can't wait for the Jabba the Hutt sitcom.
What? I know she broke your heart, Jabba, but you gotta start dating again. Dude, chaining her up and putting her in a gold bikini doesn't count as a date, silly.
That show's also premiering next week. Anyway, The Obi-Wan Kenobi show is introducing a lot of new characters to the Star Wars franchise. But there is one character in particular who isn't getting the warmest welcome from the fans.
This morning, Obi-Wan Kenobi himself putting his force behind co-star Moses Ingram. Where is he? After social media users launched racist attacks against her after her debut in the Jedi Knights new series.
She brings so much to the series, she brings so much to the franchise. And it just sickened me to my stomach to hear that this had been happening. We stand with Moses. We love Moses. And if you're sending her bullying messages, you're no Star Wars fan in my mind.
Moses sharing she had received hundreds of racist messages following the series premiere.
There's nothing anybody can do to stop this hate. I think the thing that bothers me is that, like, sort of this feeling that I've had inside of myself, which no one has told me, but this feeling of, like, I just gotta shut up and take it. And I'm not built like that.
Neither should you be. No one should have to just shut up and take racism. I agree with that. Especially in Star Wars. Guys, like, what is this? What is this? You racist in Star Wars? Like, from the very beginning, this has been a series where no one thinks twice if Harrison Ford is best friends with a giant dog bear. Or if a brother and sister want to smash. No one complains about that. They're not getting death threats. Like, I'm so tired of fans attacking black people in Star Wars when there are so many other races and species they could be bigoted against. Think about it. You could hate everyone. Go on a rant about the creepy Twi'leks, you know, or the greedy Jawas. There's so many more opportunities for racism than just black people. Mix it up. Broaden your horizons. You know, or as the Ewoks say, never do it, not my boy, you know? Gotta think bigger. It really is. Just get out there. And you know, it's really great that Ewan McGregor made a video supporting his co-star, but I think Star Wars needs to come back even harder at the racists. Really make them suffer. You should give Princess Leia a new black boyfriend. Yeah, that's right. It's gonna be a dope scene. He's gonna come back in and be like, hey, yo, Leia, I got the plans for the Death Star. We're gonna tonight. All right, finally, let's talk about families. You know, one of the best parts about having a family is that you have people to blame in therapy for why you haven't succeeded in life. And also, you have people who will continue your lineage deep into the plastic bag global warming apocalypse. Now, there are a few cultures who take family more seriously than Indian people. But as this next story shows, some of them might be taking it a little too seriously.
All right, let's take a quick peek at what's trending right now. An unusual lawsuit in India. Parents are suing their only son for not giving them a grandchild.
Sajeev and Sadaya Prasad say that they've done their part. They paid for their son's pilot training, a lavish wedding, and even a honeymoon. And they say that they've waited 6 years for a grandchild, and now they have filed a lawsuit saying that if their son and daughter-in-law don't give them a grandchild within a year, they owe the parents 50 million rupees, which is equivalent to $675,000.
Damn! Damn, this is wild. They're suing their son for not giving them a grandchild. Being parents is so weird. You spend the first 18 years doing everything you can to stop your kids from having sex. And then as soon as they grow up, you turn into frat bros. Yo, you gotta get laid, dude! And don't use a condom either. That shit's for losers. Just do it. Do it now. As weird as it is, part of me sees where these parents are coming from, though. I mean, the only reason you have kids is so that you can get grandchildren. Yeah, let's be honest, nobody wants to be a parent. You know, it's just what you have to do to become a grandparent. The name is in it. It's grand. It's better. And also, grandkids and grandparents are on the same page. Of course, grandparents want to be grandparents, you know? They're the same thing. They both love telling long and pointless stories. They have so many of the same life experiences. It's just like, hey, Grandpa, I walked it in the park, and I saw a puppy, and I pooped it in my pants. Like, wow, same here, kiddo. But look, if these parents really want grandkids, I don't know if a lawsuit is really gonna help make that happen. Especially with like a year, you've given them a year. You realize every time now their son has sex, he's thinking about his parents. They did this, not me. And that lawsuit is definitely gonna help his dirty talk. Can you imagine this poor Indian guy is going to be in his bedroom? He's just like, do you like that? Do you like that? You like the way I'm trying to avoid paying $675,000 to my parents? This is a 50 million rupee pump right here. 50 million rupee. Main tumse pyar. How would you do that? All right, that's it for the headlines. But before we go, let's check in on traffic with our very own Roy Wood Jr., everybody.
Yeah. What's up, man? How you been, man?
What's going on, Roy?
Hey,
What is happening in the traffic,
Hey,
man?
man, you know, I'm like a pigeon at the bakery just trying to get his bread up. It is what it is. Quick look at the roads now. As you can see, the northbound 770 starting to clear up. We had a little bit of a disruption a little bit earlier. Tractor trailer overturned some onlooker delays.
Wait, Roy, you're actually doing the traffic?
Yeah. I've been going to therapy, man. And I figured, like, she told me to be a vessel of positivity to people within my circle, and
This is
and the
amazing.
karma would be reciprocal. So, you know, I've come out here before, and we go back and forth, and I
Yeah,
don't want
because
that.
you never want to do. I say do the traffic, and then you're like, nah, I don't want to do the traffic.
Yeah, and I just
then you're
figured-
like, then you want to talk about like the things I'm talking about. But this is great. You doing that now?
Yeah, I'm gonna just do
This
the
is
job.
therapy.
Yeah, that's
My man,
some
look at
therapy.
this is growth.
Real
'Cause
quick.
I'm glad you're not jumping in. What's the traffic?
about Ukraine. Real quick, let me just say something. Just real quick about Ukraine, the Russia thing. Like,
Yeah.
I know we send in Ukraine the weapons and we send in money, but the issue, bro, is that that ain't what the Russians respect. We got to get their respect. We got to get the respect of the Russians. And the only thing, some people only respect crazy. So you got to be crazy. It ain't enough just to send them a rocket. The United States got to go over there and just buck up a couple shots in the air just to let them know what we could do if we wanted to. Just buck. Just shoot a couple rockets and missiles in the air, and then they be like, all right, they crazy, let's leave. Because that's how you handle stuff in the streets, man. You put your 10 toes on the ground and you go bop, bop. That's what you do in the streets.
I'm sorry. What streets are these that you're talking about?
Like North Korea, right? Don't do that with me. Did anybody ran up in North Korea? Ain't nobody ran up in North Korea.
Nobody ran up in North Korea.
Because
That's
every
true.
2-3 months, North Korea go pop, pop, pop. They shoot a rocket up in the air for no reason. That's what you got to do, dog. That's the streets, man. It's like Boys in the Hood. Did you ever see Boys in the Hood?
Yeah, I did.
That's what the Russian Ukraine, that's what the United States got to be. We got to be like Ice Cube. Like, you remember Boys in the Hood. Ricky got bumped into by the gangbangers, and the gangbangers was getting ready to beat up Ricky, and then Ice Cube stepped up and was like, we got a problem here? We got a problem here? That's what America, it'd be a missile. It'd be a missile right here. You got a problem? What you want to do? And then Russia be like, all right, let's go on back and drink some vodka. That's how everything works.
That's a novel way to solve. All right, so what's happening in the traffic there, Roy?
Them kids should countersue their parents. They should counter. Cause how you gonna sue me for not having a kid? I should be able to. If you can sue me for not having a kid, I should be able to sue you for having a kid. I didn't consent to being conceived. Therefore, I want some money. I just don't think that's right. And that behavior from the parents anyway, that come from parents who ain't scared of their kids. At a certain point, your parents supposed to be scared of you.
Your parents are supposed to be scared of you?
Yeah, you stronger, you faster. Your parents can't be behaving like that. That's why every time I go back to Alabama, I go home, visit my mama, I turn on one of them murder forensic shows where they kill the parents, and then I just look at them. Just to let her know I got some ideas up in there. You gonna scold me into having a child. You gonna scold me into having a child. Scolding don't work. Everybody know that scolding don't work. It's like in Boys in the Hood. Did you see Boys in the Hood? What Doughboy's mama scolded him. She said, don't you go to that store and go steal some stuff, and what Doughboy do? He end up dead 2 weeks after Ricky. We got enough time left? Do we even have any time?
No, we don't. We had the time, and then, I mean, we basically watched Boys in the Hood. So, but you know what? I'm glad you've been going to therapy. That's been helping. Roy Wood Jr., everybody.
it's
Thank
been
you.
good.
Thank you.